The peace won't run train. Gathering at the ring where my soul comes to them. I come alive. That's you is satisfied.
All right. Good morning. It is Monday. Hi, Monday. Joygasm. Not. Still trying to get organized. There we go. Jeremy, how you doing, bud? Alrighty. So, what's the elephant in the room? The Google update, right? Google announced the other day that they are, I think it was Friday, I want to say it came out, the updates to the helpful content algorithm. And then the supplement with that, Gary Elias made a post about it. Well, I don't know necessarily about it, but he did it at the same time. Let me find the original so I can just read the stupid thing right to you guys. I shared it. Here it is. Share. Let's see. We heard and also noticed, call bullshit on also noticed, that some sites rented out their subdomains or sometimes even subdirectories on third-party sites, typically without any oversight over the content that is hosted on these new and generally low-quality microsites that have nothing to do with the parent site. Bear in mind that Blogger, that's a Google property, they give out their subdomains. WordPress gives out their subdomains. WordPress.com gives out their subdomains. They don't intentionally sell them, but they do monetize those at some point, right? And those sites aren't generally high quality. Those are generally low quality microsites with nothing to do with the parent site of Blogger or WordPress.com. So, in fact, microsites are rarely ever linked to the parent sites, which don't actually want to endorse these often questionable sites. The only reason the users of these shady microsites read subspaces is to manipulate the search results. It couldn't possibly be that the only reason that they use those is because Google favors them in the search rankings unfairly, right? So a affiliate, for an example, who's typically, that's the guys and gals that are using these. It's generally affiliates or like gambling and casino. Those are the people that are doing this stuff, and it's not because they don't want to rank their own websites for those keywords. No, it's because Google shows favoritism to these domains, and one that's really going around right now is Outlook India. And honestly, I never even looked at this site. Let's see what it looks like. Outlook India. So this site had subdomains and subdirectories, and Google was in love with this site, and they were ranking it for damn near everything. And people figured it out, and Outlook India is like, hey, I need to make money too. So they sold access to publish on this website, and Google ranked it ass and everywhere, and did a good job. The site's not penalized. It's still number one for its keyword. Let's go with outlookindia.com. I just want to see if any of these things still work. So we'll do outlookindia.com. Number one, space, number one. That's good. So let's do this for giggles. Search. Why is this bar? There we go. There's a little drop, so that'd be something to watch in the future, right? So they went from 28 million to 21 million. That could be significant from an advertiser point of view, depending on how they monetize their website. And it looks like it's probably ad stuff, right? Just pick a random article. Yeah, it's going to be ads. And they're actually a Google Ads. They display Google Ads. Let's see what this one is. Google Ads. You see it right here. There's Google Ads. And then the ad stays for 7 seconds. That's not bad for whatever. Google Ads, it's ads choices. It's premier ads choices. If you sign up for Ezoic and places like that, you get those better ads, better quality ads through your ad choices, and your site can make more money. Right. Let's see. Tableau. So they monetize, and then there's more Google ad stuff. So, that 7 million drop in traffic could be significant for them. But I mean, Google essentially favored this website, and they're like, hey, we need to find more ways to make money because they're a business. And so they either did subdomains or subdirectories. I don't know. I've never actually used this. I heard it was like $1,100 for a link, which, to be honest, that is not horrible. I mean, that's what people were selling them for who had access to actually use it. So anyway, so those of you let us know about this. Narc SEO is real. Send us plenty of examples and even blogs about it. Thank you. It helped us a ton. And those of you who ran out subspaces of your site and third parties with no oversight of content, please read. Here's the thing that if you want to continue to do this to monetize your website, let's say you rent out subdomains or you rent out subdirectories, and let's say I don't know, Skylar Samuels wanted to write on Digital Lear, and I gave Skylar the Skylar section of the website. The key is oversight of the content. So if I provide editorial guidelines to Skylar, and then I enforce those editorial guidelines to Skylar, and if I do interlinking to the main side of Digital Lear, and let's say Skylar writes about SEO topics, and obviously I'm an SEO, so it would be stupid of me not to interlink in and out of Skylar's articles, then you're good. And you can charge Skylar whatever the hell you wanted to for your stuff. But if you just blatantly, or if you just, according to what he's reading, he's saying, let's say subdomains on outlook.india, for example, if I wanted to do Skylar at outlook.india, in order to do that, in order to make money for that, and in order to be good, I am supposedly supposed to go to and oversight all of his content. So blogspot, it's not intended to sell, right? But they do offer opportunities to make money inside a Blogger. But it's an example because it's a common example. if Blogger does not have oversight over skylar.blogger.com, how is it not just as bad as skylaroutlook.india.com? The only difference is that Outlook.India is selling these, and then the people who, some of the people, probably most, to be fair, but some of them are probably SEOs and or affiliates. And because they were affiliates, Google hates you if you're an affiliate, by the way. They've hated you. They used you to build Google AdSense, and then, or not AdSense, but Google Ads, and then they kick you all to the curb. And they do the same in search results. And that's that ever continuous war. Like, how dare you make money as an affiliate? How dare you use Google to rank in organic on a website that we clearly favor, and who's clearly, and who has a monetization policy to allow you to do the same thing that WordPress.com is allowed to do, or Blogger.com is allowed to do. How dare you do that? You have to buy your own domain and build your own website, and then that's okay, but you can't do it with Outlook India. That's how that all reads to me. And so I think there's a couple lessons here. First, Outlook India is doing just fine. I mean, they lost 7 million visitors in the course of that. What is it, a month? My guess is there's August and September, 7 million visitors in a month. They're not dying by any means of the imagination. And you can see their ranking here, it's not going down. They just lost traffic. So they lost, probably my guess, a lot of long tail keyword stuff that was related to those subdomains and subdirectories, if they removed them at all. Okay. So the second part is that Google can't go and attack Outlook.India algorithmically. I mean, having a subdomain on there is not a violation of Google Search Console guidelines. As a matter of fact, a subdomain, Outlook www is a subdomain, by the way, but a subdomain is treated by the algorithm as a brand new website. So if there wasn't any inherent bias to rank Outlook.India, a Skylar.Outlook.India, if there was no inherent bias to Google to force that site, then it wouldn't have been of value from an SEO perspective, right? So there's that. And let's say it was a subdirectory. Again, I never used it. I don't recall any pages, or I've not seen any examples of Outlook.India in a subdirectory form. But if there wasn't a bias to Google to show that subdirectory off, or to show this domain off, then that wouldn't have worked. So there's clearly a bias in the algorithm. So in order to shut that down, they would literally have to go and say, we're just going to bitch slap Outlook India and close it down. There's 28 million people going there, 27, 21 now, and they're looking at Google Ads. The revenue that this site is making from Google Ads is not insignificant. I'm working on a website that gets around 2 million visitors, close to 2 million visitors a month, and the revenue on that is close to $1,500 to $4,000, depending on the time of year, a day. So imagine that at this scale, 28 million. All right. So these guys need new content. They want to crowdsource that content, i.e., through people like you and me that'll buy access to their website. And then they monetize it by charging for you to do the post, or however that whole monetization process worked out. My guess is it's by a per post kind of guest post thing. And then Google rewards this website because they clearly like this website. December 21, it was doing nothing at all. And then in August 23, 28 million. And I say nothing, but it was still 4 million. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that give their left ball for a site that makes 6 million a month, right? 6 million visitors a month. It's still not bad. And so I think, in my opinion, what they did is, hey, we need more content so we can show more ads. Let's do this subdirectories thing. We'll give it to publishers, and we'll create a publishing system to allow them to publish on our site. Google's like, hey, we're going to send you 28 million fucking visitors a month. And so then their ad revenue probably went up significantly. It was probably way more than they got from doing the actual the money for paid placements. My guess is significantly more from paid placements, but that paid placements traffic also resulted in increased revenue for the keywords that were that those paid placement partners were using. So this model is still very much doable, and there's still plenty of other websites like this that Google favors clearly that will allow you to do paid placements. The controversy of this all is really this part right here. Those of you for letting us know, sending us plenty of examples, and even blogging about it. And it really, it's just the timing, right? So Charles Flo came out with his Parasite SEO course. It's not the first one he's done. He's not the only person that's ever talked about Parasite SEOs, etc. The difference that I've seen in a lot of it is essentially what he did is gave out a list. And my assumption is that somebody got a hold of his list, or someone kind of talked to someone who had the course, and then they were like, oh, look, yeah, and here's an example of this site. And they found out Look India, and then they started doing blog posts about it and how bad it is, et cetera, et cetera. And they went after this particular website, and Charles Float, naturally he got the blame for it. Because he's the one with the most voice right now talking about Parasite SEO. He's on doing the blog tour, he's doing the podcast run, and all that other stuff. So I don't think it's Charles's fault. If I had done that Parasite SEO course, I would have not given you websites. I just wouldn't have done it. I would have said, this is how you find them, this is how you leverage them, this is why you want to do it, and here's some examples. But I would not have created a list for you and said, here's 300 websites that do this. Ta-da! Because the way that our space works, and it's shitty that it happens this way, but the way that our space works is, had I given that list out, someone who would have shared it on what's that, Go Warrior Plus, that sharing site, or they would have shared it on I Am Glory, or wherever it would have got shared. And or there would have been people who bought it and then went with lists, so like John Mueller, or in the Google Webmaster Forums or whatever. And why is this website ranking so well? And I got it on this list of parasites, and I can buy stuff and make this whole narc SEO thing possible. So I think though that it's an interesting whole situation, because Google is pretending, or the Google talking heads, and then the Google kiss asses that are on SEO Twitter are all pretending like Google is going to stop Parasite SEO, and they're not. They're fucking not. I mean, back in, I don't know, some of you guys have been around. You remember Squidoo was killing it. Tumblr used to kill it. Pinterest to this day still kills it. Doing work on those websites in order to rank and promote your brand is Parasite SEO. It's when your website just doesn't have the balls or the preference to get up into the search results, but you need to make money. You find websites like these. Outlook India is one of them, and then there's plenty more. And build pages on those and promote your business. And if your business is affiliate, that's your business. If your business is actually a brand, or you're selling products and you want to promote it. That's your business. It's no difference than doing a press release and getting AP News press release republished for a Business Insider or Forbes. That's all parasite SEO, and you're just doing it with someone else's website. That's the whole concept, right? So all these clowns that are running around, a lot of them were busting balls on Charles Float. I mean, again, the course is fine. The concept is fine. He didn't invent it. People have been talking about parasite SEO for ages. And he just said, hey, look, here's another set of sites that you could do it on. My only caveat would be don't give people a damn list, a roadmap, make them be smart enough to go find these websites themselves. Because this stuff happens, and how many affiliates have lost money and had to pivot and find new websites real fast because Outlook India got targeted for no good damn reason other than a PR stunt. So there's my rant on parasite SEO. I will also say that Google updated their search quality guidelines and talked about this whole thing, and necessarily they didn't really go too well into it. They just said, essentially, if you're doing this, you're the devil and bad and evil, and God will bring lightning down upon you. But the fact of the matter is that Google will have to do a revamp of the algorithm in those spaces where high authority sites like those news sites are getting pushed above. Even CNET is doing fucking affiliate reviews right now because Google is favoring those type of websites and giving them a lot of exposure in order to bury affiliates and bury actual affiliate domains. So in order to stop this whole thing, they would have to essentially bitch slap every authority website and remove that factor of the algorithm that puts them in front, and then or target specific affiliate programs like we found what they were doing with Amazon. If you had Amazon links, your page ranks would drop. I mean, there's the tinfoil hat. Clint Butler says, oh, Google's after them. But I mean, the guy who's done criminology, has a criminal justice degree and taking criminology classes, look through court cases. I can see patterns there where, I mean, if I was Amazon, I'd prove beyond a reasonable doubt that our backlinks will cause pages to drop, and then Google has an antitrust thing going on because they're intentionally demoting their competition in their search results. Yeah, just thought. All right, let's go. Hey, Nick. Hey, Dan. Skylar, I'll take a section on digital. I'm sure you would. I'd actually take your content. You'd be all right. Charles knows what the hell I'm talking about. Like Charles. Let's say Charles over at Fox. And let's say that Fox News decides they want to do, and I don't know if they're doing this or not, but let's say they are. They want to start doing product promotions stuff like the best digital camera and the best, they can even take it from let's say a small business perspective. Let's go journalism so that they can create a section to teach, MSNBC how to be good journalists. Good luck in that venture, but I mean, it could happen. But let's say that Charles decided to do that. Those pages would rank damn near instantly because it's Fox, and because Google prefers Fox over Charles's own personal affiliate site. It's the same guy doing the SEO on both because it's Fox. I mean, Charles looks like the king, but if charlestaylor.com looks like trash, and Charles doesn't know what he's talking about in SEO, right? So if Fox decided to do that, and let's say they did their one directory, I don't know, products or reviews. Let's do reviews. That would be better. Fox products reviews / best digital cameras. Google would have to manually suppress the products reviews category in Fox.com, or hit the whole website. Google is not going to hit Fox.com. I mean, that would rue the day that they just, hey, let's just trash Fox.com. Can you imagine how well that would go over? So they would have to manually hit that products thing. In order to justify doing it, there would have to be something out there somewhere that says Charles is taking money for posts on Fox.news, Fox.com. Now, Charles, if you are taking money for Fox.com, let me know. I can hook you up with PayPal. But they would have to figure that out somewhere to do it. And the only way they're going to figure it out is if, one, Charles is a dumbass and goes and puts a page on Fox.com that says, buy a post. Or Charles is a dumbass and goes to and creates a course and says, oh, yeah, and by the way, you can buy them on Fox.com. Or Charles sells it to someone who is trustworthy, or he thought was trustworthy, and they create a list of 300 fucking websites and put Fox.com on there. And then that points out Charles.com. So this is a word of caution probably to everybody, including myself. It reiterates why I do not teach specific link building strategies. I am not going to think of and spend my time and spend my money and energy to develop a link building strategy using sites X, Y, and Z, and then give you that list. That's dumb of me. Just like it is dumb, and I'll say it was dumb of Charles Float to give out a list of websites in his Parasite SEO course. Now, did Google make a point to go hit all 300 of those? I haven't seen any proof of it, and Charles hasn't seen any proof of it, and I doubt that they're going to do it. But it's that possibility, that rare chance that, let's say Charles came out with his Parasite SEO course, I come out with my link building course, and they go after the websites that are on my link building course. Or they create these social media posts in order to scare people and thinking that they're going to go out of it and do it. And that creates a lot of bullshit for you as a business owner or as a website owner. So if you're going to be doing this kind of stuff, and there's nothing wrong with it, absolutely zero wrong with it, either on Outlook India's part or your part as a user leveraging Outlook India to promote your brand, zero anything wrong with it. Keep your mouth shut and don't go bragging to be internet famous. It is much better to be real world rich than it is to be internet famous. So I still teach methods, and then you have to figure out the specifics of it. And if you think about it in that perspective, and you're dealing with buying courses and all that stuff, think about how it's taught, and then go, what can I do to make this unique so that when all these other clowns that are following this course thing step by step by step, and then inevitably the 10 retards that go to Google webmaster forums and talk about the exact steps, and then the 5 or 6 people that go to Twitter and talk about those steps, or go find a person in the white hat space on SEO Twitter to get them to talk shit about that method. It doesn't get roasted because you're not using it exactly. You're using it with a twist, and Google and can't hit you. So think about it with your link building, your on page, and all that stuff. That's all that applies. Okay, rant complete. 24 minutes of ranting. Just give you time to write some questions out. Let's see. Jeremy, can you give a few brief guidelines for accepting paid guest posts? Everyone has an opinion. Would love to hear you take. So I am entirely open to having guest posts published on my websites. And the caveat really, or the requirement, if you're going to do it, is to have, in order to protect yourself, is a written editorial guidelines policy. You will do X, Y, Z. You can't have more than this. We are going to market as sponsored, for example, or we're going to, the best way, if you're going to provide those and they want people to keep coming back, would be to use no follow, not sponsored, but you can annotate sponsored post on your stuff, right? And then also, it can be written by Skylar Samuels, but reviewed by Jeremy. Right. So you can show proof that Skylar's providing this content, but the website has an editorial overtake on it. And once you do that, you've met the guidelines for guest posting. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you selling the opportunity for people to write for you if you want to do that. I've actually put the offer out there for Digital Ear. I want content on Digital Ear about search engine optimization, affiliate marketing, content marketing, all that stuff. And in exchange for your content, I'd be more than happy to leave links on it. I have no problem with that. It's a fair trade. So that's a route you can go as well. But if you have people that are, interested, you honestly, for link building stuff, you'll flip the switch where people are offering you guest posts to you getting outreach to when your website starts getting a lot of traffic, et cetera. So, and then you just got to figure out how you want to monetize it. If I was Outlook India, I would have charged a little bit, kind of like a management fee for them to have those subdomains, and then I would have monetized with Google Ads and been done with it. I wouldn't have sold it as a link building thing at all. I wouldn't even have mentioned it as a link building thing. And then it would be up to Google to prove that that's what was going on. And if they had posted editorial guidelines and the sign up process and et cetera, then Google couldn't do or say anything about what they're doing. Mark, I just paid for Quora Lite today. Can your course help understand how to analyze and implement on-page SEO with the new on-page course? We have a new Quora section. Yeah, the Quora section is going to be updated with the new version of Quora. It's 7.5.1 is the one that I have now. I don't know if Ted's updated it. I can't tell you on that, but and Quora Lite has not been updated since March of 2022. I think it's been a long ass time. But Quora Lite still works. So I'll have sections on Quora Lite, the volatility tool, diff trends, all that stuff. The whole Quora course will be updated, and that's all part of the on-page SEO course, which I published, I think 6 videos already. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 update videos to that already, and announced that in the Discord. So that is on its way for sure. What would be the best channel for SEO Intel IMG to make more money from the courses, renting courses to other portals, offering affiliate courses, white label courses, co-branding? It's a DJ. If I knew the answer, we'd be doing a lot better at SEO Intel. SEO Intel is based off of SEO testing, right? And the fact of the matter is that there's, we have close to 700 tests in there already. And short of redoing those tests, it's a lot harder to think of new ideas and what to test about. And you can see that if you're following IMG's testing, where they actually have a lot of testers. I'm it for SEO Intel. Everyone that was with Kyle went over to IMG and then started testing. And then half of those guys had a fallout with Kyle over some dumb shit. And they left, and now Kyle's got this minimal set. But IMG and Page Optimizer Pro are doing well enough that Kyle has a bigger team now. So they're taking on a lot more of that testing stuff. Whereas SIA, I'm it. I'm the guy doing the testing. All right. Even though I offer to pay people, we get test submissions every once in a while, but once people figure out that, testing actually makes work, then they don't want to do testing for us. So it's neither here nor there. So what do we do in the interim? You have IMG that has hundreds of courses. I won't say hundreds, but they've got a lot of Ask courses, and they essentially do a pay-per-view model over there. And I got a course in there. Well, I did. I think they took it out because I haven't updated it in a while. But they have that pay-per-view model, and it works for them. But as a user, there's so much there that you just don't want to intake any of it. And that's just from my perspective. Whereas SEO Intel, we had the same thing on the old SEO intelligence platform. I think we had like 15 courses on SEO intelligence, but honestly, you look at the views and stuff, and the members never watched any of that shit. So we consolidated that into a couple of different sections, the on page and course and an off page. And then we interlinked our internal testing with that. Not internal, but the test results. So if we're telling you to use H1s, here's a test result to say why, right? And so that seems to be kind of like a happy medium. So we'll have this full blown out web course for you to go over, but it's not so much that you're playing Wheel of Fortune trying to figure out which course to go through. It's going to teach you from keyword research to link building, how to do SEO, and explain in my style. So I'm not dumbing it down, but I'm not overly complicated either. And it'll be good. In my opinion, it's really designed for people to who are newer, and then we'll get into the advanced stuff as time allots. But at the end of the day, my philosophy on SEO has always been keep it simple, stupid. I want to be able to work on a client's website for an hour a day and then call it a day. So that's how I build my SEO stuff. I'm not trying to do a lot of hard shit. The hardest stuff I do is the schema at the end of the day. So how do I box that up and promote it to people that are looking for the next big thing, when really the basics of SEO is what's there? And the answer is getting in front of new people. And if we can't successfully get in front of new people, i.e., if you're on Matt Diggity's list, you're not a new people. If you're on OMG's list, you're not a new people. If you're on Charles Float's list, you're not a new people. You're already kind of formulated your opinion of how SEO should be. And you are pretty locked into that, and you're an advocate for them. SEO Intel has got to get in between those brand new people in the SEO Twitter space to figure that out. Why not buy domains like SEO? Because we don't want to do a whole bunch of SEO courses. It's about creating a brand, TJ. You don't buy multiple domains and sell your products in multiple places unless you have an intention to not do branding. You want to do branding. So SEO Intel is a brand. Digital Ear is a brand. What Ranks is a brand. SEO This Week, that's a brand. And you can do that. But having, the core course on one subdomain and SEO or 30 different courses like IMG, it's a waste. People aren't watching those, DJ. They're not watching them. They're buying it and they're paying that monthly thing, but they ain't watching them fucking videos. The main ones that are getting watched are Kyle's videos. The rest of them might as well not even be in there, and that IMG would be the same exact place. The Netflix of SEO is a gimmick, and it works for them to generate users, but users aren't watching them. So why? And I'm kind of the other thing. Why in the blue fuck would I want to spend all that time making a course that I know damn well that no one's going to watch? Case in point, I gave away the Quora course, my Quora course. It was the second one ever created. The first one was a basic how to use tools. Mine was more intermediate. And then, and I gave it away. Over 300 people signed up for free for my Quora course. 13 of them actually fucking watched it. People do not value free. They do not value, and they will just buy things. And I do it too. I do it for tax deductions. I'll be straight up. I'll buy stuff and not even watch it. But yeah, so I am not going to go through all that work and create multiple websites and multiple subdomains for nothing. I'm not going to do it. Now, if I was doing affiliate and pimping other people's courses, then that would be awesome. Create those kind of domains and then put landing pages on them and do lead capture, and give them away a free ebook as a tie-in, and then build an email list and just pimp everyone else's courses till my heart extends. That would be cool. Mark, do Google Stack still work? Have you tried Stack SEO? I have Stack SEO, Mark. I have a 5-user account. I like it. It has its uses. Think about 0 + 0 = 0. Those sites will rank really well by themselves for long tail keywords and that kind of stuff. But you do want to put a little bit of effort into them. If you're going to create a private blog network with those, then you have to build links to them in order to get the maximum amount of value out of them. There's a new software that the Ranking Factory folks made. I got access to that. I mean, it's decent enough for creating that blog, the initial blog network, right? So DJ signs up for SEO courses and for SEO work, and he's got SEO courses.domain, and then you create a site of, I don't know, a network of 50 Google sites, and having your initial PBN for your referring domains. The downside is of all of those tools is after you've created them, you still got to go back in manually one by one, add new pages and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the stacks concept still works, but you do have to build links to those to see the amount of, you have to build links to those to realize the amount of work that you do in order to create them in the first place is actually worth it. If you're not intending on building links to those and you're not using those as parasite sites, then don't waste your time with Google Stacks. Do you think Omega Indexer still works? I don't think so, Nate. I know so. It still works. DJ, makes sense. Great insights. You're welcome, DJ. Dan, I don't see many courses worth watching in AMG. I honestly, Dan, I think Kyle's is probably one of the better ones, but it was purpose. It's essentially their platform, right? And the rest of those courses are really there for the views and the revenue share. Even mine, I gave away the Quora course on what ranks. Saw that no one was watching it, and I was like, well, fuck, maybe if I put it in IMG, some people will watch it. And then I made a little bit of money from it, but it wasn't a lot. And so that, in the quality of that course now is crap compared to, when I update it, because the software has changed so much. And the reporting has changed too. So I think with that, then, like, I know your experience level, you're not going to find in an IMG anything new. A lot of those guys that are creating those courses, et cetera, are looking for tip tricks and hacks that, they look and sound cool, but they're not monetized for shit. And you and I, for example, we have enough experience to know that don't chase those things because it's dumb. Right. So yeah, I'm surprised you're even a member, Dan, to be honest. Why would you watch courses when there's Fight Club and Digital Leadership? Yeah. I think when it comes to my show or it comes to Fight Club, like it's a vacuum of opinion, right? So Fight Club, Ted dominates it, and blah blah blah, all day long, and then occasionally he asks for my opinion or Lee's opinion, but for the most part, it's that vacuum of Ted's opinion, and it's the same with SEO this week. It's a vacuum of my opinion, and so it's good if you find people that are trustworthy, that you deem trustworthy enough that you would listen to what they say. So I appreciate that. For me, those people are, Grindstone, Jerry West. I listen to Cyrus Shepherd. I watch what he's doing. I mean, he's in the Twitter white hat space, but the guy's down to earth and he doesn't formulate opinions without testing stuff, which is awesome. The Inlix guy, Dixon Jones, I listen to him. I listen sometimes to Bill Hartzer. And I listen to Matt Diggity, and I listen to the Authority Hacks guys, and I listen to the OMG guys too, right? And I'm still take courses. Brock Misner took his course. And so it's if you're not taking courses, then you're not getting anything new to add to your toolbox. But you have to just change where you're getting those courses from. And the same with YouTube shows. If you're watching my show and you don't come away with something in an episode or two, then you're probably wasting your time. And it doesn't matter. Like I only got 2.8 thousand, 2,880-ish subscribers. Diggity's got 60,000. It doesn't matter whether you watch my show or Diggity show, as long as you're walking away with something, right? So yeah, always be learning. Come away with something. If you're not coming away with something and the only thing you can think of is I'm going to go to Facebook and talk shit because I didn't get anything out of this thing, then why the fuck did you spend your time watching it in the first place? Because you're wasting your time. Go do work. Ignite visibility. Oh, Jesus. We actually, a client of mine hired them, and I was I'm his consultant. So I do work on his blog network, 700-ish sites, and then I consult on his primary website. And he hired Ignite, and that was a fucking nightmare. So I can't imagine how you, as someone working for Ignite, could deal. Like you get what they. If you're new to SEO, the corporate SEO gig is not bad at all. Like you learn about project management, deliverables, you learn about time management, you learn about spend, profit margins, etc. But you don't learn about and you learn some of the basic technical stuff like page speed optimization. You'll learn that. You'll learn keyword research. If you're in the ads part, you'll learn a lot of PPC stuff, and you get to use other people's money to hone your craft in PPC. But from an SEO perspective, you learn what I would call basic and maybe even intermediate on page, but you don't learn any of that advanced stuff, and you don't learn the link building. And all that advanced stuff in that link building is actually the 20% of what makes SEO work. So you have the 80-20 rule, and that 20% is stuff that you won't learn in a corporate environment. So if you are a corporate SEO or you're working for an agency like that, I challenge you to get your own couple of websites and just go to town. Get a list of everything that everyone ever told you not to do and go do it to those websites and see what happens to it. That's the next set of tests that I'm going to be working on for SEO Intel is I want to go to SEO Twitter and ask them, list out your, the black hat tactics that you think don't work anymore and see how many I actually get that we could test and see if they work or not. Right. So if you do that on your own, then you can be really successful in a corporate environment because now you become the subject matter expert very, very, very quickly. The downside is you're also hated because you're the black hat guy and how dare you do that? We're not doing that to clients, and they will vilify the ever loving hell out of you. And then you want to go start your own agency. Man, ranting today. 46 minutes of ranting. You guys are doing awesome though. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and drop them. I mean, they don't have to be on the topic. We can go into any question you want right now. While we're doing that, I was just thinking about some things. I started doing YouTube shorts. I want to double down on that and actually do more of those. I noticed that there's a couple of people that weren't doing shorts before now are. So I think it's a decent underserved. Well, I won't say it's underserved because I watch a lot of SEO shorts too, but it's a good place to mess around with. I think I want to do some SEO tests behind it too, but I want to get enough shorts on there. And one of those things that we were doing with shorts is I had my VAs watch a video, and the guy used Canva and created like 500 shorts and then made $7,000 in a month using AI and Canva to make shorts. Now, I don't have a channel where I want to just do some dumb shit like that, but doing the Q&A shorts, I think are actually really helpful, and I get specific questions down that, just aren't going to justify having a whole show about. So I'm going to continue doing those. I just need to find some better places to find questions because Reddit has a nice steady stream, but I want to get out a whole bunch of them and push that publishing pace up because I was doing right now like one a day, maybe one every couple of days. So if I do some more of those and you guys are subscribed and you see a whole crap ton showing up, that's what's going on. I went and got like 30 questions and I'm doing those 30 shorts. And I want to get that volume up a lot higher so I can show you the monetary results of doing shorts. To date, I think I've made like $14. Let me see. You guys can see the back end of this. That's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. See if I can find it. Estimated revenue in the last 28 days, $8.33. It's actually a little bit more in my AdSense account. It's like 14. But most of that is actually coming from shorts. And I don't have very many of them. So I think I need to expand on that some more. I can get some more questions and stuff. And then if this turns out, let's say I only make $1,000 a month, that's reaching. I've never made hardly any money on this, barely enough to buy a Starbucks coffee. But let's say, for example, I do 500 shorts and it starts making $1,000 a month regularly. That's $1,000 in the pocket you didn't have from passive income, and then my shorts are out there, the branding's out there, et cetera, and I'm helping people. And I'm making $1,000 doing it perpetually as long as they keep showing my videos. So I think that'll be cool. A good test. On top of that, if you do the content, when you're uploading with the mobile app, you can do the title, but you see the descriptions are empty. And I haven't tried it, but I want to go back in there and fill out those descriptions and put backlinks to my website on there. I'll have to. I'm gonna do it to a new page. I'm gonna do it actually to my site I'm building for the on-page course, clintbutler.net. But I got to actually write content for that in order to pull that off. So I'm gonna just continue to do this, and then once I get to the content optimization piece in the on-page course, the first set of links is going to be from these shorts videos, and I want to see how much power those shorts videos are actually passing, if any. I also want to see if I build links to the short videos, will I pass all the rankings? So it'll be interesting. So it's setting it up for a good thing. And you can see my views here. My view counts are shit, right? So you guys come on live, and I appreciate that completely. And then I get some of the reviews of the products and stuff. But really, at the end of the day, the live shows, the SEO This Week episodes are like 500-ish. A couple of times I get some good ones, but I just need to really need to do something, because I've been doing this show forever. Let's see, 278. Let's do 50. This was my first episode. Done one. That's when I was doing it every week without fail. 121. 2016. Yeah. It's like 2016. And then I was messing around with these videos, and just blew up my web traffic. Ineligible. Just like, these videos suck. 2016 is the year I started SEO This Week. So it's been going for that long, and I only have an average of 500 views. So something has got to change. And I think shorts is really the answer. And doing these tool videos and stuff in between, I have a good time doing this too. So, and I want to get back to the news, because it's, I have to read that stuff for consulting so I can stay on top of things. And if I'm going to do that, and I might as well create videos on it. So I'm going to figure that out as well, and that will be part of the on-page course. Over the shoulder, I'm going to do one for the agency site. I already did that once before. I'm doing that again, and rebuilding Digitaleer. Doing one for my personal brand, which is going to be using that website for the actual crust of the courses, and then I'm going to do a survival website for affiliate stuff, and then probably the YouTube channel, and ultimately maybe a directory. And that on-page course will be living, breathing. You can see everything working, what works, what doesn't. If it sucks, it sucks. If they don't ever rank and make money, they don't ever rank and make money. I'll do it right in front of you. I could just as easily go and, pull a creative editor and make all kinds of fancy graphs and stuff, and look how awesome I am, and I make millions from affiliate SEO. Now buy my course and sign up to my lad. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it straight out in front of you. And you guys want to pay me more money, so be it. And if you don't, well, so be it too. My philosophy. And then if I just disappear off the planet, you know that I won the lottery, and F you all. All right, here we go. More questions. Cool. Can you talk about inlinks and how you're using it today? Oh, Nate, that's a good question. I'm actually going to do a video on that. Someone else asked for it too. But the short version is I use it for the end content. I use it for content creation when I'm building that content optimization plan. That'll be in the SEO course. I did a video. If you search SEO This Week and look for content optimization, you can see the kind of the old tool stack that I was using, but inlinks was in there. So that is pretty much the same for that. The interlinking and the schema stuff I do not do because it's JSON or JavaScript deployment, and as soon as you cancel your in links, you lose that deployment. So I don't see value in doing that. You know what I mean? Unless I am going to pay for in links in perpetuity forever and ever, and I've been a member of it since it started, but I don't want to be tied to it. You know what I mean? So I don't use those things for the deployment. I have it turned on a digital ear, but it's because I'm lazy. But for the rest of it, I don't even think with it. But I'll do a video on that. Someone else asked for that too, and I'll do one of those tool videos that instead of doing as part of the show. I work, what's it? MMR 267. I work at a digital agency, and you're exactly right. They're flayed black hat SEO and client sites. They only let us build crap citations and crappy directories. Yeah, I mean it's also scale, right? So if you're at a big ass agency and you have 200 clients, and this is something we just got finished dealing with at Franchise Rocket. You have 200 clients, and you have to, you're trying to rank all of them equally, but your take home, your profit or your available spend is only $400. I mean, if you've ever paid for backlinks, for example, you ain't doing it for $400. Plus, you got to talk about your manpower payments, your all the other tasks, etc. So what that leaves you with is you can do link building with crappy citation links, and you can write content for them. And that's and if you're an SEO working for a big agency like that, why aren't they ranking? Why aren't you asking for more money from these people? That's not the point. You should be ranking them. It's when we sold them. Well, then you're an idiot. You should have talked to your SEO before you sold them that thing. That's why I tell you guys, if you're not charging at least $750 per campaign, and that is only on page and some general link building, like stuff that you can get for free, then you are just you're wasting your time, and you're making yourself look bad. You're going to ruin your brand. I don't take on a client for anything less than $1,500. Someone calls me up and says, "Hey, I want to do SEO. My minimum budget is $1,500 a month. Are you okay with at least my minimum budget?" If they say no, I don't even deal with them, because I know I can't build backlinks. I can't invest the time. Can't have my VAs working on your website if I can't pay the bills. And in order to pay the bills, I got to get at least $1,500 per client. My average clients right now are paying $2,000 to $5,000. And what are your go-to content promotion strategies? You publish every month for clients but don't have an SOP to promote it readily. The number one is leveraging their social accounts. And then you and I talked about the IFTT stacks. You don't want to build those stacks out. You know what I mean? You don't want to build all that automation and stuff, but you do want to get the primary social sites for sure. The Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Instagram. Because Google's using those inside for the knowledge graph is really why I picked those 5. And then you want to double down on that one social media platform that is generating you a lot of traffic. So in survival, for example, Pinterest does really good, sends a lot of traffic, especially if you're doing like hidden containers and hidden, drawers from hidden safes inside of tables and all that stuff. All that like really works and drives an ass ton of traffic. If you're doing a business, then infographics will drive traffic. That kind of stuff. So find that of those 5 channels, find the one that does really good, and then you double down on that and spend a lot more time on that. My dog training guy, we do Pinterest for like legit. We do a lot of Pinterest for him. And then I told him, hey, you need to promote your website, and you need to promote you, and you need to build a YouTube channel, and at least at minimum do YouTube shorts, right? So So there's those two. We know those are coming down. And then we do the SEO autopilot for the social bookmarks, high quality, just to get them out there. And then we see how it ranks and we see the traffic. If there's a lot of traffic and stuff, and then that's where you want to drop a PR in. Just, if anything, let's say you do a infographic and you talk about 30 different statistics of your market in your infographic. Do a press release talking about the top 5 or the top 5 trending topics that inside of that infographic. So go to Google Trends and put those topics in and see which ones are the most, and pick out 5 of them and then do a press release. Now cite your website or your client's website as the source of that. And now you have the press release going on. And then you can actually even double down on that method and build a statistical lists, and then and reach out to journalists and et cetera, and say, look, we did all this research and stuff, and then they will cite you and possibly in stories and stuff. And that's kind of a long play with that Herald outreach concept. But you got to do it in where you're actually building journalist lists and stuff. And that's public relations stuff. Did you mess with Bing Chat AI for SEO strategies or research? Yeah, you as a matter of fact, Bing has got that integrated into Skype. And if I want to do some quick keyword research or something, you can just go in there and ask Bing to generate a keyword list for you and get started. That's a good way to use that Bing stuff. Just think though, Bing is a productized version of Chat or of OpenAI's system. So if you're using ChatGPT, you don't necessarily have to use Bing. But the user interface is different. I like it using it in Skype because it kind of saves the prompts and the responses, so I can see a little bit of what's going on in that regards too. So I would just think about the tool and how you're going to use it, and you can leverage it for pretty much anything you want to. MVD Nigel, thank you, sir. Nate, thanks for the $10. Appreciate you. Charles, I'm running some CTR tests on YouTube. Happy to test one of your videos shorts if you want. Yeah, Charles, I mean, that'd be awesome. They're all about 200-ish views. So pick the one you want and go to town. I'm running it, playing with Agency Assassin and doing some map stuff. I'm going to test that out. I want to find the victim, unfortunately, and see if it'll rank it. And then I want to just shut off the traffic instantly and see what happens. I'm assuming what's going to happen is it's going to drop, but I want to rank it slowly with the process that the Agency Assassin guys say, like 1 to 10 visits a day max, and then see what happens from there. Just breaking 100 subs in several channels, then the first hurdle, then 1,000, then 10,000. Yeah. I mean, I think that the biggest burst I got is when I started doing SEO Fight Club with Ted and Kyle. I think the 3 of us together, had a really good flow. And then I was also doing that show, White Hat versus Black Hat, with Josh Brzezinski. Before that, he stopped taking his meds and went crazy. I missed the old Josh, by the way. I want the old Josh back. And that's kind of when Digital Lyric is going good. But when I did it by myself, no one wants to watch me. You're all mean. I think Dre is doing good. Let me see how Dre is doing. He's got the SEO video show. He's got 5,000 subscribers, but that dude does a lot of networking stuff. And I'm an introvert. I'm not a let's go out and network and talk to people guy. And Dre is. So I fully expect him to be kicking my butt. I was thinking about, I've been tossing around, like, just do videos like Diggity or Brian Dean does, right? Those helper fancy videos, and my editing skills are not that good. But I see some value in that, and so I think I can pull some of those out. And just really, it's got to be about attention, and they get the views. Like especially Diggity, he's got this big email list, right? So he creates video, he puts it out, and his notifications kicked in. But when he was building that channel up, he was relying on his email list, and then those would watch, and it would compound and stuff, and Google would show them more. So I need to do the whole email listing too. But it's all these things that I want to do and need to do, and the things that I have time for are different. But it is what it is. Business Grow Radio. I'm going to do an SEO channel using only Comment 64. I think that'd be different. It would honestly be different. You just like your display when you're on the screen and you're writing code, just do it in that old Commodore 64 or Atari display, that whole, what is it, 16-bit display, black and white. That would be awesome. It'd be fun in that. If I wanted to be a trend chaser, I would probably have more topics on the channel about AI, not gonna lie. I seen one guy, he had 2 videos on his channel. His first one was, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. And the second one, he gave this prompt out, this prompt that I'm using. I think I did a video about it. I may not have. I need to do the video. That is essentially a default settings prompt. If you know what ChatGPT, you have this default settings section in there, and then this particular prompt essentially turns ChatGPT into AutoGPT. And that dude had like 10,000 views within 24 hours. So if I wanted to do that stuff, I can do that. I got a shout out from Steven. That's good. Yeah, I like the SEO on the book. I was promoting that when he first started it. And he does a great concept, etc. All those new newsletters. I mean, they were essentially doing what I was doing on YouTube, watching the news story and creating the list. And I think I was a dumbass for not doing that. Like Adelia, I think that's how you say her name. She's working on 30,000 subscribers. Steven, I think he told me 16,000 subscribers. Which sounds great, right? So traffic generation and all that stuff is awesome. What I want to know is, does those, like Dory has got 30,000 subscribers, but it's not. I mean, she's not plugging that in and making millions off of those email lists. So the numbers don't necessarily tell the whole story either. So my most viral vid on this channel, probably when I called out Corey for being trash, a trash business person. Nah, I wouldn't necessarily call them out, but the topical authority video and the preview of his course, the review of his course, those were the 2. They got the most attention, and those are only like 1,000 views. It's not successful. Like I've never had a viral video. I guess I can go and do like how Charles, he created his group, the PBN hosting group. What was it called? PBN something. He created that group by bashing on Becker. And everybody back then was on the hate Becker parade. So he created this whole, he went after him and made it very, very public, and then said, if you want to learn more about, what I'm talking about and what I'm throwing down and how much Becker sucks, join my group. And he built this big ass Skype group off of that. And then ultimately he built a Facebook group that got a lot of traction. And then I think he just walked away from it. But if I wanted to do something like that, I could probably do it, but again, I'm an asshole, but I'm not a dick. So I'm not going to go out and just shit on people for the purpose of promoting myself. Unless they deserve it, then I'll do it. Let's see. Nate, I think you should continue to lean into reviewing tools and courses. Yeah, I like doing that, Nate. I really do. If I can get the shorts to pay $1,000, man, I can. If it's paying $1,000 a month, I can do those videos all day long. And as it grows, there'll be more tool creators leaning into getting me to do the review. I've had a couple that I've showed on the show that the actual creators have come out and said, "Hey, we look at my tool." I think that one I did on the Chrome plugin, SERP Focus or whatever, is that the name of it? Let me highlight it. Make sure it's on the right. SERP Sonar. He came and he reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, can you check out my plugin and do a review on it?" So if I can get the channel to pay for itself, then that would be, I could do those all day long. Becker and the Super Squirrel. Yeah, I don't even remember what that was all about. I think back then it was Becker was selling links, and then at the end of his link selling thing, he was like the face of the place, right? And he was reselling or selling someone else's links or had partners, whatever. And then it turned out some of them were de-indexed, which today if you're an SEO intel, that doesn't necessarily matter, because de-indexed sites will still rank your website as long as Google's still crawling them. But Charles, if I'm not mistaken, it was Charles pointing all that shit out, that he found wrong with those, and he just did it in a immature way. Let's put it that way. But because he chose that method, he was able to create a really good sized audience. So that is what it is. Yeah, you're right, Sean. Drama does get a lot of views. People this is a good marketing lesson, really, at the end of the day, is people, if you watch the news, regardless of what you think of the news providers, if you watch them, those guys don't show good stuff. Human nature, we don't want to see that shit. I mean, we'll watch an occasional, Hallmark show or whatever, right? But for the most part, we want to, it's like in our synapses to drive by the car wreck and go, ooh, right? Or if someone's successful, it's in, to root against them when they fail, ooh, right? And I think it's the same way in everything. I mean, Matt Diggity could be awesome, but in Chiang Mai could be the best SEO conference ever. But God forbid he screws something up. Everyone goes there and eats the lunch that his wife made or something and gets food poisoning. And that will be all over the internet and talk about how bad he is. Or let's say that Google decides, hey, we're going to talk about his PBNs he sells. He sells those backlinks that he sells through that service. If he went after, let's say they went after that, they would all be like, yeah, and yeah, I knew Diggity sucked. That whole thing would go along with that too. So it's interesting how we choose to behave in that regards. Does that make sense? Or what keeps us, not behave, what keeps us engaged? Oh, what else? What else? What else? I think that's it for the questions and answer section on the YouTubes. I'm rambling on forever. On tips for shorts. Take your weekly vids and create 1 minute or less clips with CC text overlay. I thought about doing that. I really did, but I ramble on a lot, and then I don't. The questions you guys ask on the Q&As are really good questions, and they require thought and insight, and I can't package it up in 1 minute. So it's easier for me to just find unique questions, and then how do I answer that in 1 minute? Think about it, and then go, all right, I'm gonna go do it. Versus trying to edit out really good questions and then creating bad answers in shorts. Does that make sense? All righty. Cool. All right, folks, YouTubers, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you all for showing up live. Thanks for the thumbs up and the subscribes and the 22 who are watching now. You are the men and women that I do this for. Keep it up. Bring some friends next time. Let's get this number up to 44. That would be awesome. I'd be satisfied with 44. I hope you all have a good week. Remember, you can go to clintbutler.net and find the link to the Discord and join the public channels on the Discord. If you have questions throughout the week, it's a great place to hang out. I'm still working on, figuring out how to get people to engage in there and talk more. Right now, it's just people sign up and then don't ask any questions, so they don't get any answers. So there's no conversation going on. But the more of you that sign up and actually start engaging, the better that group is going to be. And that part is free. And if you have the SAA, all we do is add you to the paid part where you can have a little bit more privacy in asking specific questions. But other than that, appreciate you guys and gals, and I'll see you